Hi guys, how are you? Let me know if you can see me clearly. If you can hear me. Hi guys. Abby. Okay, perfect, clear. Lavinda, Anna, selamat malam semuanya. Okay, it's good. Cheers. Perfect. Great. How are you doing? I was really excited to hear about your progress in the chat group. Thank you for mentioning this. Michelle, Hani, hi. Good evening, Inda. Okay, let's wait for 30 more seconds and then we will start the lesson. Guys, can you just, moderators, can you help to announce in the group that we are starting so everyone can join? I really hope to see you guys live. Liz, I've brought at least 2 people to join the free live webinar. Amazing. Yes, my team told me that there are a lot of people coming from you guys. Thank you so much for taking your time to, invite people to join the free webinar. I hope it will give them more understanding about remote work and opportunities right now. Thank you so much. Amanda, Nor, Julia, good evening, Gita. Really waiting about this topic. Amazing. Perfect. Okay, guys, let me share my screen first. I will just open the presentation and will share with you my slides. Oh, yes, I also forgot to on the captions. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, if you need transcription, just turn on the CC button on your screen. Okay, let's start. And today, the topic of our discussion is pricing and packages. So how much you should charge, what are the different pricing strategies for you as a virtual assistant, how you can make sure that you avoid the scam jobs, how to create the contract, how to create the invoice. So everything will be discussed today. And last but not least, of course, you're going to learn about how clients can transfer the money to you, even if they are based overseas. Okay, so what we are going to learn today, first of all, you're going to understand different ways on how you can work with your clients in terms of the pricing strategies. Also, you're going to learn about the best ways to charge your clients. You will understand what is sales funnel in a VA industry, meaning that how you attract and sign the contract with your client. So what is the process from the start to finish, so you can have a clear understanding about the sales process. And also you will understand how to choose your rates as a virtual assistant and which rates are good for you to start with, and also learn how to avoid 100% of scam jobs online. And I know this is a big topic, but unfortunately, even alumni from our course still, make mistakes sometimes. And so I really hope that you will take notes of what I'm going to mention today, so you're going to avoid 100% of scam jobs that you encounter online. And also how to prepare a portfolio draft. This is a great thing that we are going to work on after this class, is creating a portfolio, and it will help you so much in finding your clients, no matter which platform you're going to use. So yeah, I hope you are very excited for tonight's class. Okay, guys, before we start, I want to also announce that you are going to join SGB Tinder group soon. Again, I want to highlight that this has no relation to the Tinder matchmaking application. This is just the funny name that we have created because this group is like a matchmaking tool, but between the VAs and clients. This is a group where we regularly post job vacancies. It is just like a support channel for you, just one extra channel for you where you can apply for job vacancies. So you're going to join this group on this Thursday, and you all will get a lifetime access to this group. So meaning that even after this course has finished, you will still be a part of this group forever. So you will be able to see all the vacancies that we are going to post. So importantly, I need to mention to you Tinder group rules. So please do not send any text messages or chat messages into this group. This group is strictly only for job posts. So any other messages are not allowed. So also please don't post any job offer without permission from our team, because we really need to make sure that the job is legit, it's not a scam. So if you have any job vacancies that you would like to share with the other students, or maybe if you are already fully booked, you cannot take any more clients, and suddenly you receive a DM on your Instagram, do you want to work with me? And you cannot take any more clients, so you would like to give this job to us. But please don't post it by yourself. You need to reach out to your SA, to me, and then after checking this job, we will post it by ourselves. So if you have questions regarding job vacancies, please contact our team in the chat group. Don't ask directly in the Tinder group, okay? So this is group rules that I wanted to share to you guys. So now let's go to the main topic and let's discuss the pricing strategies for virtual assistant. And I know that it's a big topic, it's a hard topic, so please take time to really understand all the strategies that you can follow for the pricing. So first strategy is the hourly rate. So it is also called a retainer. So it is basically when you are charging your client based on the hourly rate. So your rate depends on how many hours you will work for this client. So for example, if the client wants you to work for them for 20 hours a month, the client is paying you a retainer. So basically, the client is booking your time for 20 hours a month, and you need to spend these 20 hours to do jobs from this client. So this is the hourly rate. Also the monthly fixed rate. So some clients might not be comfortable with the hourly rate. Maybe they are not happy to always track your rate or how many your hours that you spend working, or they are not really comfortable with this arrangement. And it happens, it is totally fine. So you can have a monthly fixed rate. So a monthly fixed rate is when your client is paying you a fixed monthly fee, let's say $500, and you need to do certain tasks. And in my team, even, we have people, virtual assistants with a monthly fixed fee. We have people who are on the hourly rate. We have people who are on the project-based rate. So project-based rate is, for example, your client has a project. Let's say they are creating their online event and they only hire you for the length of this project. Of course, if you show that you have you are bringing value to this client, maybe there is a high chance that they will prolong and continue the contract. But still, the reason they are hiring you now is because they have this project and they need help with this project. So it can be just a project fee, and the project can be 3 months long, it can be 6 months long, it can be 2 weeks long. So really depends on what task you're going to do and what project it is. And also we have a fixed plus commission. So it means that you have a fixed fee, let's say a few $100s a month, and you also have commissions. And we also have a team members in our SGBVA team who are working with this strategy. And as you see, even in our SGBVA team, we have all these pricing strategies present in our team, depending on the position and on the role. So for the fixed and commissions, it is usually only when you directly affect sales. So for example, if you are helping your client to talk to the clients and to sell their products or services, that is when it is logical that you will have commissions and you have usually lower fixed fee, but you can have more commissions depending on how well you achieve your sales targets. So I already received some of your DMs saying that you found some leads who are offering you to, work for commissions only. I think it still can happen, but my understanding and my belief, I really believe that all jobs should have fixed fee. Of course, in this case, where we are going for fixed fee and commissions, the fixed fee can be lower, but you still need to have the fixed fee. Plus commissions, again, for the situations when you directly affect sales. So this is just the overview, and we are going to talk more in details. So again, what is a retainer? For those of you who still are not clear about what the retainer is basically when client is paying for your time. As I already explained, it can be 20 hours per month, it can be 30 hours per month, it can be 40 hours a month. So basically the client will pay you in advance, usually 100% of the fee or 50% of the fee, to book you for this number of hours. So this is one of the pricing strategies. The downside of the retainer of the hourly rate is that your growth is limited, and it is limited by the number of hours that you can spend working as a VA. So let's say if you have 2 hours a day free for which you want to spend on being a VA, it means that only after you have 1 or 2 clients, you already will be fully booked. You will not be able to take any more clients because your number of hours is limited. So it is still a great strategy for a start. And if some clients are happy with the strategy, they are keen to pay you on an hourly basis, then it is a great strategy for a start. A lot of virtual assistants are using this strategy, even if they are very experienced virtual assistant. And when you already don't have any more hours, you are already fully booked, it is time to increase your prices further. So for example, you have been charging $10 an hour, now you can charge $15 an hour, $13 an hour, $18 an hour, depending on how confident you are in your skills. So you can increase your prices, or you can change the pricing policy. For example, you can charge based on the KPIs. Instead of based on the time, you can just charge based on the KPIs. For example, your agreement with a client can be that you will write 10 articles for the blog of your client or for your client's website per month. It will no longer be tied up to the number of hours. So I hope that it is clear. Let me know, guys, in the chat if that is clear. Clear. Great. Samantha, Nana, Inda. So clear. Amazing. Great. Okay, I'm happy it's clear. Let's move on. So a lot of you guys are asking, what are recommended rates? How much should I charge my clients as a beginner virtual assistant? So again, I recommend charging, starting from $10 an hour. So it is still worldwide, it is still considered a quite low rate. So you can be saying to me that, you know, even people in Indonesia, they might find it quite high, and this is true. Some students reported that some clients in Indonesia, you know, they try to negotiate because they feel that $10 an hour is quite a high rate. So I want to emphasize that you can negotiate with your client as long as you are comfortable with the amount at the end. Don't go too low, don't go too high so that the client cannot pay you, but still $10 an hour, $15 an hour worldwide, it is considered still quite a low price. Again, I always tell to my students that in the UK, in Europe, you know, they start from $25 or $30 an hour for beginners virtual assistant. But again, I think looking at our region, Southeast Asia, and just in my experience, $10 to $15 an hour for a start is a good price. But again, I would like to emphasize that you always can negotiate with the client, and you always need to have in your head, like, what is the lowest price per hour that I can negotiate. Because if your client is saying, I would like to negotiate to $5 an hour, ask yourself, is it okay for me right now? Maybe if you are not really confident in your skills yet, you just want to have your first client, your first project, you want to have a testimonial, you want to be more confident in your skills. Maybe it is totally fine for your first client, but for some of you, it will be quite low. So don't go below your limits, but it is always okay to negotiate. Just today, one of my VA clients contacted me again for my SMM services, and he was like, oh, can your prices be negotiated? Can we lower down the price? And I already know that he will always negotiate, like he will always try to get the lowest price. And I always say that, sorry, but this is my best price. But sometimes, you know, it is okay to negotiate. It's totally fine, because we want to find a solution which is suitable for both you and your client. So later, when you are experienced, you can increase the rate to $25 per hour and more. So of course, for that, you need to constantly practice your skills, constantly improve your services, and focus on how can I bring more value to my clients. And to make sure that your current clients are happy, to make sure that you bring more and more value to them. So if you follow this, if you are consistent with learning about your services 10-15 minutes a day, you will get there for sure. And I know virtual assistants who could increase their fees 2 times in just less than 1 year. It can be even faster. So really, everything depends on you. So you can use your hourly rate to calculate any type of pricing strategy you use. So for example, you your client is telling you, sorry, but I'm not comfortable to go with the hourly rate. I'm not comfortable with that. Can we just have a fixed monthly payment that I can pay to you, and you can do certain types of tasks for me? And that is totally fine. You can definitely say, I'm surely we can do that. Let's discuss how it can work out. So that's why during the discovery call, and next week we are going to have a separate lesson about the discovery call. During the discovery call, you need to understand your client's preferences, and only after that you can discuss the comfortable arrangement in terms of the pricing strategy. Again, if your client is not very sure about the hourly rate, you can agree on the monthly fixed fee. How to calculate this? So you can after you understand which tasks your client wants you to do. For example, your clients wants you to post 10 posts per month on Instagram, 10 posts per month on Facebook, create a content strategy, and write 5 blog posts. You need to roughly estimate how much time you would need to complete all these tasks. Of course, you might be asking me, how do I estimate if I never have done this before? Now, I hope that you are still practicing for yourself to do different tasks. How much does it take you to write a blog post? How much does it take you to write an Instagram caption? So you already have a rough idea. Of course, you will never be able to estimate precisely, and it will come with experience, but you can just roughly estimate, and then you can multiply your hourly rate, for example, $10 an hour, to the number of hours you estimate that you will need to complete this task. For example, $10 an hour, you will need 20 hours. So you will charge $200 an hour to your client. Let me know if that's clear. Let me know in the chat, guys, if that's clear. Clear, okay. And again, you send the proposal for the pricing to your client. Of course, you can still slightly negotiate. Again, you can go back and forth with your client, and your client can say their budget, and then you can negotiate. That is totally fine. But this is the basic rule on how you can negotiate the project fee, how you can negotiate the monthly fixed fee. So let's discuss hourly arrangement example. So how can you, what are the different packages that exist for the retainer, for the hourly rate. So the option one is a small package, and usually for clients who are okay with the hourly arrangement, with the retainer pricing, they would be choosing from different packages. So you can offer them a small package, which is 20 hours. For example, if you are charging $12 an hour, a small package includes 20 hours a month and 5 hours a week. It is not so strict, it can be just 20 hours a month, but some clients don't even care when you work. They just need the job to be done in 1 month, and they don't really care if you work every week 5 hours or if you work every day for 1 hour. It is not so particular. So you need to, all clients are different. So you need to understand this during the discovery call and during your communication with the client. And of course, it depends on the tasks that you are going to do. So the total for 1 month is $240 for this arrangement. Of course, if you charge $10 an hour, then the pricing will be different. So why is a small package good? Because it is suitable for someone who never hired a virtual assistant before. Maybe they are still not sure what it is. They are still not very comfortable with it's something new for them. So it is completely safe for the client because the investment that is required is not high. It is just a few hundreds of dollars. And then it is basically a trial period with you to test you out. So if your client is going for the retainer, for the packages like this, then they usually would pay you in advance 100% or at least 50% of the amount. Because for the retainers, they must book your time in advance. And of course, this will protect you from any types of scam jobs. But we are going to talk more about it later on tonight. So what are the other options? So the option 2 is a medium package. The medium package is 40 hours a month. It can be 10 hours a week. And if you are charging $12 an hour, then the total for 1 month is $480. So the medium package is usually when your client is, working with you for already 2 months or 3 months. They want to give you more tasks. But I had students whose clients signed this contract, this option from the first month. So it really depends. Maybe the client has a lot of things, a lot of tasks to be done. So 20 hours a month is not suitable. So they would usually go for the medium package. And it is, again, a great and most popular option. You are already quite involved in the business, and this is suitable, especially if the client has more tasks to do. Okay, so option 3 is 60 hours a month. So it is when you are already very involved in the business, and if you are charging $12 an hour, then the total for 1 month would be $720. And again, with the retainer arrangement, the client must pay you in full in advance before the month starts, or the client should pay you at least 50% of the total fee in advance. So why the large package is good? Because it allows you to do so many tasks because you are already very involved. You have 60 hours a month, and it is suitable when the client trusts you a lot. Usually beginner, when you are just starting to work with a client, they are not very keen to take this option because it is too involved already, and it's more investment from the client. But I had a few students who got first clients with this package. So it doesn't mean that no one will take this package. Some people can still agree to take this package. So you are very involved and act as a team member, and especially this package is suitable if the client has more tasks to do. So how about project-based fee? So it is usually also applied for SMM services or any other services that are needed to be done on a project basis. And yes, project basis also can mean that it is just for a length of the project. Like I mentioned to you, if the client is organizing the event and they only hire you for 3 months or 6 months, so this is also the project-based based payment. So, for example, as the client wants you to manage their Instagram account, their social media account, not necessarily just Instagram, they also can ask you to manage Facebook or other platforms as well. So it can include design and posting. This is just the example, right? So I just give you a suggestion, but again, the pricing, what is included can be totally different and based on the client's needs, which you need to know during the discovery call. So you can discuss all of this during the discovery call. So design and posting 7 posts a week, content scheduling for a month, make a content pillar for a month, monitoring and responding to comments and messages, providing ideas about brand visuals if the client doesn't have any. And this is exactly what we also have our virtual assistant. Our arrangement in terms of the deliverables is very similar. So we currently have, I think, 2 virtual assistants who are handling our various Instagram accounts, one for social media management course, and the other virtual assistant is handling the SGBVA course. So our arrangement is just purely on about the deliverables, about the KPIs, like what they need to do in 1 month. And then you can charge a fixed amount of money for this kind of service. So definitely this is only the example, and we need to determine what list of tasks and how much is the fee and clients, you and clients that agree with for these tasks. So this is just the example. So importantly, you need to, when you are sending the proposal to your client, when you are sharing your pricing with your client, please convert the fee to the currency of your client. Of course, you can use US dollars because everyone understands more or less how many US dollars is in our own currency, but still it will be respectful for the client if you convert your rates to the client's currency. Important to know about the pricing strategies and your hourly fees, your project fees, etc. Please do not put it publicly on social media. We only let people know, our clients know about our pricing when we send the proposal or during the discovery call. But of course, there are some clients who will be asking you on DM, how much do you charge? So you always need to say that it really depends on your needs and on your tasks that you want me to do. So we can discuss more on the discovery call, or we can chat more about it. But my basic charge is basically $10 an hour. But again, it really depends on the tasks that I need to do and on the project, and also how comfortable you are on, going with the hourly rate. So, and you also need to understand the comfortable arrangement for the client. And again, don't just say that I'm only working on the hourly rates. During the discovery call, you can ask the client, what is comfortable pricing arrangement for you? Do you want to work on the hourly rates? Do you want to work on the fixed monthly fee? And you can start discussing from there. And also submit a proposal based on the client's needs. So we are going to talk about it in a second. Let me know, guys, in the chat if everything is clear so far. Yes. Pricing is very individual, yes, but you still need to understand the options and the opportunities. Shafine, too fast with the pricing. What do you mean? Gabi, I also charge my first and second client $4 an hour, considering I'm a newcomer in the Indonesian market and the client is my friend. However, I'm still learning too, and I thought it can be a good as my portfolio. Great. Clear? All clear, great. Okay, let's move on. So what to respond if the client is asking your hourly rate in a DM? I just already responded to this question. So you just need to, of course, you need to respond. You don't just say that let's talk, let's have a call first, and then I will explain to you. You still need to explain. You need to, still need to say that it really depends on the tasks. But my starting rate is $10 an hour. But I also can work on the monthly fixed fee. I also can work on the project fee. So let's have a chat, and I would like to first understand what you need from me and how can I help you. So that's how you can basically start. So there is no right or wrong pricing strategy. Maybe you will ask me, what is best? Do I charge per hour? Do I charge project fee? Do I charge monthly fee? In fact, actually, a lot of the things depend on the client. And even sometimes I have interviews with virtual assistants. I already have in my head the picture how the pricing strategy will work. So I will tell during the discovery call, I will tell the virtual assistant, can we work on the monthly fixed fee? Can we work on the project-based fee? So during the discovery call, you will understand what is the preference for the client. And based on this, you can already craft the proposal depending on your client's needs. So how to receive the money from your client? Let's discuss this topic. So if the client is based in your country, of course, local bank transfer is the fastest, the easiest, and there is no fee. But if the client is overseas, that's where we need the information, right? We need to know how can the client transfer the money to us. And here are the suggestions from me and also from our students, who I constantly ask them, like, very often, about what type of payment gateways they're using. Recently, we have discussed it in our Teams group as well. Like, I was asking which are their most favorite payment gateways that they use for their clients. And a lot of them are using Wise. So Wise is a great platform where you can receive the money instantly from your clients. The fee is relatively smaller than PayPal. It is not really too small, but not like Zendesk. Zendesk, we are going to discuss it shortly. But of course, the fee is smaller than PayPal. It is available in many countries, including Indonesia. And it is a little bit more difficult to set up for the client. So I think the client must have the Wise account. However, one of my students mentioned that the client even doesn't have to have the Wise account, as far as I remember. So actually, it is still quite easy. We are also using Wise, and maybe some of you here paid through Wise as well. So it is still a great platform, but it is, in some cases, it is more difficult to set up for the client, and it is good for the clients with whom you build relationships, because sometimes it can take a little bit of their time to set up the Wise account to make sure that they can transfer money to you. So another option is Revolut. I'm not sure if you have heard of it, but I'm so happy with them. I have recently opened my account on Revolut. It just takes like 2 minutes to open an account, and you can also create virtual cards. You can also create like one-time cards for. I sometimes use it for my virtual assistants. Instead of giving my card details, I just create virtual one-time card, and I just give to my virtual assistant to pay for some services. You can receive money instantly. Some students use Revolut, and they say they are very happy with it. The clients are transferring money through Revolut because a lot of people from Europe have Revolut accounts. Automatic currency conversion to the local currency also allows for direct transfer to local bank accounts. So it means that I think from Revolut, for example, if your client is based in Europe, they can directly transfer to your bank account without you having to open a Revolut account. And also available in many countries, including Indonesia. So check it out. It's very great platform. Xendit is our favorite payment gateway. I think most of you have paid as a course through Xendit. It's such an amazing payment gateway with the lowest fees compared to Wise, compared to Stripe. So it is a really user-friendly. It is an amazing tool, but you need to wait 2 to 7 days to withdraw the money, and it is only available for transactions in Southeast Asia. And also it is the fees are not relatively smaller, they are very small. So and also need to have your own website to sign up. So in order to sign up to Zendit, you can't just do it in 2 clicks. You still need to submit some information about yourself. And one of my students is using the Zendit. He just recently mentioned about it. And he said it's great, but you need to have your own website. So you can just create like a simple website, landing page, and you can just submit it to Zendit, and they will be able to open an account for you. So you can check this out. It's an amazing platform. And of course, some of my students use PayPal and they're totally fine with this, even if PayPal has very high rates and very high fees. It is still good if you are working with a client for the first time and you just want to make it very easy for them to pay to you. So you can use PayPal, but don't overuse PayPal because of, in my opinion, the fees are very high. I know virtual assistants who have lost like hundreds of dollars on the PayPal fees. And even when some students are transferring us money through PayPal, the money we receive at the end is much smaller because the commissions are very high. And also, if you are having a new PayPal account, your money can be locked up to 21 days. And this is really the worst thing that can happen, because if the client is sending you the money and your money is locked, it means that you will receive this money only in 21 days. And the worst thing is that the client can actually say, of course, I hope it never happens, but if the client is saying that this service was not delivered, then the client can actually receive the money back and you will never receive this money. So it never happened to me. I mean, it happened to me that my money were locked for 21 days. In this case, I just asked the client to make the transfer faster. So actually the client can tell the PayPal that the service was delivered up to the standard. So the PayPal will release the money in 7 days instead of 21 days. But still, for me, it's such a hassle, and it's not what I mean. I don't think you will be happy if it happens with you. So, but in anyways, I have a lot of students who are using PayPal, and you can consider this as well for a start. But of course, again, during the discovery call, during the communication with your client, you can ask the client what is the most convenient payment option for you. And by knowing all these options, you can also tell it to the client, and definitely you will find the best solution and the best payment option for you. Let me know, guys, if all is clear. Let me know in the chat. Western Union, never used it. I think the fees are super high. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your transfer fee. That's a good question, Liz. We don't add the transfer fee to the invoice. The transfer fee is usually borne by you, not the client. We don't want to charge the client anything additional. And we also don't charge the income tax to the client. Western Union charges a very high amount and the exchange rates are low. Grigory, I had the experience with PayPal. The customer gave note to PayPal that they never received the order, so it was pain in the ass to get the money, as we need to wait for the customer and all the proof. Wendy, using Wise Revolut, should we open foreign currency bank account? I don't think it's needed. Like for me, I'm using Wise and Revolut. I did not open a foreign currency bank account. Meaning our rate includes everything, including payment fee. Yes, and of course, it is in your interest to make sure that the payment fee is very low, or if there is no payment fee. Yes, this is the net price. We don't include any fees. How about the fees for the Revolut? I think the Revolut can transfer fully to your bank account. So I think there are no fees. As far as I know, you can check it out. How many percent is the fee for Wise? As far as I remember, it's around 3%. 3% is a fee for Wise. All of this, which is the most comfortable in terms of quick payment. Wise is an instant payment. Revolut is instant payment. PayPal sometimes is instant payment, but really depends. Okay, so let's move on and talk about the sales funnel. So how is everything working for you as a virtual assistant when you are finding your clients? So what is the sales funnel? What is the step-by-step process of finding and closing a deal with your clients? So first of all, the first step of the process is making yourself visible and attracting the attention of a potential client. Of course, this is the most important thing, and without this, we simply will not be able to find clients. But of course, clients will be able to find us. But again, it is because we made ourselves visible. The second step of the sales funnel is discovery call to understand the needs of the client and show your value. And plus to confirm the deal. Most of the times, the client and you already will discuss the rates, the arrangement during the discovery call. But sometimes the client will ask you, okay, so what are the different pricing strategies that you can work with? And then you can say, we can work per hour, we can work on the monthly rate, we can work on the project-based rate. What is most comfortable for you? And then the client will say, I think for me, most comfortable is a monthly rate. And then some clients will ask you, okay, it was really nice to talk to you on the call. I'm happy to work with you, but could you send me the proposal? So in some cases, you will need to send the proposal. Proposal, it means the email. You don't need to spend hours to create the Instagram design or Canva designs, presentations. You can just create an email and send to the client with your proposal, or a simple Canva slide, okay, if you want. But usually for me, I just send the email. I will send you the template. What is included in my proposal. So you can say, thank you very much for the call. As we discussed today, your main need is for me to manage your social media. So based on your needs, I think this would be my proposal. So number one, what would be included in the proposal? 7 posts on Instagram stories per week, 5 posts on Instagram feed per week, and then whatever is included, so one by one you include, and then price per month will be that much. And then you send this to the client. You just share with the client, this is my proposal, look forward to your updates, and let's kickstart our partnership as soon as possible. And then you send this email, and then the client will give you back the feedback and the confirmation. And then that's where you send the contract and send the invoice. And this is really what will protect you from 100% of scam jobs online, is sending the contract. In any case, when you work with friends, when you work with family, with your first clients, always you need to sign the contract before you start any work. So if someone is reaching you on DM and saying, I really need a VA urgently, can you start today? Can you start tomorrow? I really have an urgent task. Please don't forget to sign the contract. You can say, yes, I can start tomorrow, but today we need to sign the contract. You need to have a signed contract before you start to do anything for the client. And of course, after the contract is signed, it is already quite a big indication that it is not a scam, especially when the contract is signed, up to the standards. And we are going to talk about the standards for the contract in a second. And after this, you send the invoice for the payment. I will show you the template for the invoice. So basically, invoice is a request for payment. It's just a simple document that you send by email to request the payment from your client. Yeah, so I think I have covered everything for the sales funnel. I hope everything is clear. So this is the invoice example for the client. Again, there are a lot of templates that you can find even on Google. This is quite a basic template. What must be included in the invoice is your name, your address, your client's name, your client's company name, your client's address, and then the date of the invoice, the payment, the fee that you are charging, and then the description for the charges, for example, social media services for June 2023, $350. And then total $350. And then you need to also mention the payment terms. So the payment terms, the payment is due in 2 days. The payment is due upon receipt of the invoice, which means right now. Or the payment is due within 3 days. So you must include the payment terms in the invoice. As long as you have all this data and all these details, your template for the invoice can be anything, not just like this, but it can be even simpler. So for the contract, the option 1 is when the client is sending you their contract, and option 2 is you send your own contract. For me, I always send my own contract. It never happens that the client is sending me their own contract, but it can happen, and it is totally fine. For my SGB events business, for my Singapore Guidebook agency, we have a lot of cases where the client is sending us a contract, and this is totally fine. But in this case, you need to make sure that the contract is in accordance with your standards, and all important information is included in the contract, because the client can send you just any contract, whatever is written. It even cannot make sense, but you need to really read the contract. You need to really spend more time to read every line of the contract and make sure that it is a good contract. It is not just a contract which is called contract and nothing is, and it doesn't make sense what's inside. So what must be included in the contract? There must be a start date. So the contract start date, usually it is when is your first day of work. You can discuss this with the client on call. And then termination clause. So termination clause is what happens if you or your client want to stop the contract. So usually, I mean, this can be discussed. So you can, if you send your own contract, it is very easy because you can already have your own template that you can send to your clients. But usually it is like 7 days notice. So if the client or the virtual assistant want to terminate the contract, then they need to inform the other party within 7 days before the end of the contract. So it means that if the client will terminate the contract, you will still need to work for 7 more days. And same about you. So if you want to stop the contract, you will need to still work for 7 days. Again, the number of days can be different. I have seen contracts with just 3 days notice. Usually it is not more than 7 or 14 days. It is not like 2 months or 1 month. It doesn't make sense. So also job scope, what you will be doing for the client. If you have a specific job scope, like 7 Instagram posts, 5 reels, etc., you need to put it all in the contract. If it's more of a retainer, you need to say that you will be working and providing admin and social media services for 20 hours a month. Also fees, how much you will be charging for that. And also payment terms. Please don't forget the payment terms. When will the money be paid to you? Because the client can send you the contract where it is written, we will pay you $100,000. And we don't know when. So maybe it will be in 10 years, right? So we need to, because just recently one of my students sent me the contract and asked me to check whether this contract is a legit contract or no. And it was written that we will pay you 3,000 pounds. We will pay you for your job 3,000 pounds. But then nothing, like when will they pay? We don't know. So you need to really pay attention to this. Payment terms, and also your available hours. Your available hours, it means when the client can message you for work-related matters, because it doesn't mean that you will only work. You will work, for example, my available hours are from Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It means that I don't necessarily will work for this client during these hours, but during these hours, my client can message me for any work-related matters. If you don't state your available hours, then the client will be messaging you 24/7. So you need to have your boundaries and you need to have your work-life balance. So it is really, really advisable to include your available hours in this contract. And guys, we are going to share with you the template for the contract. So you can use our template. It is quite comprehensive, but of course you need to change the different things as in accordance with your discussion with your client. So the tip is, please don't add the end date unless asked by the client, or unless it's a project work. For example, your client is saying, Tanya, I would only need your help for 3 months. So this contract will be only for 3 months. In this case, you need to put that this contract start date will be 16th of May until 16th of August. But in any other cases, don't include the end date, because if you include the end date and then the client is happy with your services, then you will need to sign the contract again. This is very much headache for you and for the client. So just write, this contract starts on 16th of May until end. It means that until the time comes when you or your client wants to stop this contract. So this will be a great tip for you. And only when the client wants to stop or you want to stop, you will still be working with this client. So now let's discuss about portfolio, and this will really help us for the next steps that we are going to take, because after this lesson, we are going to talk a lot about finding clients, reaching out to clients. So we need to have the portfolio and to build the portfolio as a foundation for this. So this is the portfolio of Eric. He's with us today as a moderator, and his portfolio we discussed with the team. We think it's a really great portfolio, and basically a portfolio is for you to show to your clients who you are, some brief information, brief details about you, what services you provide, some examples of the services, and some social proof, some testimonials. So here you can see about me section on Eric's slides. So he just created this portfolio on Canva. So I think it's really, really super cool. He just mentioned his Instagram, his Gmail, and a few words about himself, and of course his picture. And then his services. He mentioned what services and expertise he has. And also he attached some work samples. Again, it can be just you practicing doing different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be work for the clients. But of course, if you have anything else to showcase, like your past work for your clients, this is definitely possible. And of course, this is not in full, like Eric has a lot of other samples. You can, I think, Eric, maybe you can share your full version of your portfolio with the students. I think it would be great. And then the next thing is testimonial. So you can have social proof. So social proof is really important. So this one is a visual proof. So we see how he can write the content. We see how he can write the blog posts, etc. But the social proof is when people are saying something about you. And again, of course, it can be your past client, it can be your past co-workers who you work with closely. Doesn't necessarily have to be related at all. It can be just people who you work with, and they just give a proof about your let's say soft skills, or showing that you are very solution-oriented person, that you are a person with a great communication skills, or your other skills. So come back to week 1 and see all the skills and personal strengths that you have. So if you can find people who can prove that you have these strengths by sharing some examples, by sharing some past projects or things that you have done together, and if you can include this in the testimonials and social proof section of your portfolio, it would be really great. And I know that Eric is also updating his portfolio. He just mentioned to me that recently he got another client thanks to this portfolio, and he's always like, whenever he has a new client, he would include another testimonial, he would include another example of his work. So you can always grow this portfolio further. And of course, you need to have call to action. So you need to have a clickable link or anything like that, so your client can get in touch with you. Get in touch, join the thousands of people who have delighted in my hard work. Click here to see how I can transform your business. So this is a great example. Again, you can just do this in Canva. So guys, after this class, your task would be to prepare your portfolio draft, and also to take and do one task from SGB related to your services and receive a testimonial. This is the optional task, but I highly recommend you to do it, simply because you can just include our testimonial in this section, or you can include the work sample in this section. So this would be really great for all of you who want to practice your services, who want to get a testimonial, and who want to become more confident in what you do for your service. So you can register for SGB test task once we announce it in the official group. Again, it is not a paid task, it is just a task for you to get a testimonial and to practice your services. So yeah, and guys, we will have a coffee time this Friday with student advisors. So the topic of the coffee time will be contracts and you know, invoices to your clients. So mostly contracts. So we are going to discuss what you need to put in the contracts, how to create the contracts, what to discuss about the contracts with your clients. So this will be the topic of the coffee time. I hope you will enjoy it. So make sure that you join the coffee time this Friday. Thank you very much. I hope it was a useful lesson for you guys. We are done with the official part, and I'm now going to respond to your questions. Liz, the second task is to, it's optional task. You can practice your services. We will have a list of tasks where you can do like a simple, fast task for yourself, and then you can send to us for the feedback. And then our team and myself, we will check the task, and we will give you the testimonial, which you will can later showcase on your social media, on your portfolio, on your other platforms. And also you can get a feedback from our team about how you have done this task. You can also attach this sample of the task to your portfolio as well. Yes, follow Eric on Instagram, guys. Okay, I'm going to the Q&A. Ali, what's the principal difference between monthly fixed rate and hourly rate? I assume with both we need to complete. Okay, yes. So basically, Ali, the difference is that during the monthly fixed fee, you do not need to really calculate the hours, and your work does not really depend on the hours that you spend. And sometimes you can spend more hours, sometimes you can spend less hours, but your client does not pay you more or less for the depending on the hours you spend. It is only based on what you need to deliver during this month. Or it can be, for example, in our team, we have virtual assistants who are working, like, let's say, full-time or half-day virtual assistants who are just doing, working with us, like from 9 to 1, let's say, every day. And then they do different tasks and they have like a monthly fixed fee. So it can be like that. Or they can be full-time virtual assistants as well, and they are getting fixed monthly fee depending on their job scope and what they do. So so hourly rate is totally different, because hourly rate, the client is paying you based on the hours. So let's say if the client is paying you based on the hours, and it happens that you spend less hours for this task and you spend maybe 18 hours, but the client paid you for 20 hours, you will need to still do extra tasks to cover this additional 20 hours. But if it's monthly fixed fee, it doesn't matter for the client how many hours you spend. Because it is not calculated. Also, if you are charging based on the hourly rate, you need to track your time using Clockify. I will put it in the chat. So you can use Clockify, where you can track your hours, how much hours you spend on different tasks, because you will need to send reports to your clients, and you also need to understand how often do they want to see reports, maybe every week, maybe every month, maybe every day. You need to check on the discovery call, but it is very important if you follow the hourly rate pricing. Yes, how many hours we need to complete this task to give a monthly fixed rate? Yes. But sometimes it also happens, I need to emphasize as well. For example, when we are hiring people, I'm hiring people to join our team for a full time, let's say 8 hours a day, right? Because we have a few team members who are working with us full time. They are working fully remotely, but they're still working full time. So in this case, if they are working 8 hours a day, but they charge based on the hourly rate, it will be such a huge amount of money, right, at the end. So of course, most of the time, the client who is hiring you on the full-time basis, they would not really be paying like your hourly rate. You still will need to adjust the pricing, but if it's just based on the deliverables that you need to give to your clients, for example, 20 blog posts. Of course, that's when you can calculate the roughly how many hours you would spend doing this, multiplied by the hourly rate, and you give the suggested pricing to your client. Desi, I got leads from my friend who want me to help on social media marketing for the new brand. What component I need to consider beside my time and scope of work? Will the transportation and internet fee should be considered also? Will you have the transportation component in this, or is this remote? Because transportation, no, we never include, and the internet fee, no, we don't charge for that. Sari, hi Tanya, which is better, offering services on an hourly basis or as a package where 10 hours per week should cost and 2 weeks more would earn a special rate? No, hourly rate, it is not like what is better or not better. It is about the client's preferences. Sometimes, like for example, if you're finding a job on Upwork, it will not be like 20 hours retainer. It can be retainer as well on Upwork, but it can be also per hour. So meaning that you track your time, the Upwork is tracking your time, and then the fee is calculated based on the time that you work. But so there is no right or wrong. It is usually, but you need to discuss with the client individually. And still it would be, if you are going per hour and you are offering packages, it will be monthly packages, just the ones that I have explained on the lesson. Sulifega, some of my friends asked me to give them a proposal for a start, and so they can share it to their circles. I said I would, but I don't know what kind of proposals do we need to send. Is there any proposal we can share not based on clients' needs? It is very hard. You need to, maybe not the proposal, maybe you can send them the message, like the introduction message about yourself, like what we have talked about last week, what services you provide, your elevator pitch, and just write a message which they can blast to their friends. Maybe this kind of message, but definitely not a proposal. You will never be able to create a proposal for everyone. It is not possible. Ima, my prospective client needs social media elevation and moderation, which I believe I need to charge higher than my other services, even when I'm just starting out. What should I do so it's fair enough and convenient for both of us? My question is that do you only offer social media services to them, or do you also offer them admin services? Because if you're offering different services and then you are charging for social media one rate, for admin another rate, for email marketing the third rate, then it is very messy and very, I never encountered a virtual assistant who is doing that. But if you believe that you need to charge more for your social media services, and this is the only service that you provide for this client, then why not you just increase the rate for the service? I think it is fine. Yeni, $10-15, is it inclusive with Wise fee, or can be more Wise or PayPal fee? No, we don't include the fee. As you bear the fee. And hi, Tanya, based on the experience, is it best to charge hourly or per month? I already responded to this question on the lesson. There is no best or not best. It just depends on the client and you, and what is the client preference, because you want to work long-term with them and you need to find the solution that works for you and for them. So all the rates are great. All the payment options are good. And sorry, I changed my question. Based on experience, can you please share what kind of project client prefer, hourly rate or monthly rate or per project? Really depends on the client. There is no rule like this client or this niche or this task would prefer per project, or they would prefer per monthly rate. It is I don't want to say this like rules to you. So because you need to understand that it should be discussed individually with every client on the call when you have a discovery call. Padilla, hi Tanya, if I have a contract with monthly based and without end date, how can I ask my client to increase my rate? Simple, you just send them an email and you say that, look, in the last 5 months, I have done this, I have done this, I have achieved this. I also really improved my skills and services. So I would like to ask if, I would like to inform you that I would like to increase my rates. And from next month, my rates will be $12 an hour or $15 an hour. Would that work for you? Maranatha, hi Tanya. From my experience working on a freelance basis with several advertising agencies, both in Indonesia and other countries, those agencies cannot pay us in advance because they also have not received full payments from their clients, especially if it's a long-term client. Moreover, they still need to divide the money for various things required to get the project running. However, we do have a contract signed in advance. In this case, should we insist that we receive some payment in advance? No, in this case, if it's a trustworthy organization, if you have a contract signed and in the contract you have a payment term when they need to pay to you, it is okay. They can still pay you at the end of the month. It is totally fine, or whenever is your payment term. And even in our company as well, some of our virtual assistants are paid at the end of the month. This is totally fine. So the thing number one that you need to ensure is a signed contract where you have the payment terms, you have the cancellation terms, basically whatever I have mentioned. Of course, it is good when the client can pay you in advance, but it is not always realistic. So you need to see the situation. Sophia, Tanya, how do you usually treat a client who negotiate your service more than once? As you may know, there will be another client that can afford us and their project may be bigger and will be a great fit for our portfolio. Yes, Sophia, I'm not a big fan of negotiating, but I think that some people just have this habit to negotiate. They do not feel nice if they don't negotiate. They just feel that it is really it's a must for them to try to lower the fee. So it is fine. Don't think about it as something negative. When I started my businesses, it was so hard for me to say no to such requests. I was always like, okay, let's negotiate. Okay, let's raise, let's decrease the price a bit. Let's decrease. It's okay. But now I just firmly say that sorry, it is my best rate. But of course, I want to emphasize that it only happened to me when I already have a lot of clients, when I already am stable financially, I already have my portfolio, I already know that this client will still sign if I say this to them. But I always recommend you to negotiate. It is still okay. It is totally okay. There is nothing wrong in negotiating. And later on, when you are fully booked, when you are very confident in yourself, you will also be very, you will have this feeling that when client asks you to negotiate, you are not afraid to lose them. Because of course, there is a risk that if you say no, they will say, sorry, it is too expensive for me. I don't want to proceed. So you need to weigh the options, because right now when I say, sorry, I cannot decrease my rates, it means that I'm okay if the client will say no. I'm okay if because I feel that my time is more valuable than if I give them the decrease in the pricing. But it only can come with experience. And when you already have a few clients, when you are more confident in yourself. So it is totally fine to negotiate when you feel it is okay. Redno, hi Tanya, my cousin was asking me about my rate for social media management for her IG. She asked me not to rate her too much, but I want to rate her just like the others. Can you help me with that? Redno, what you can refer to the examples that I have given in the lesson. So I need to know what she wants, how many posts she wants you to post, whether she needs you to do the copywriting, and what will be included in your services. Selvi, how if we already made an agreement and legalized the contract, but our client didn't pay based on the contract agreement and we already finished with our tasks? Do you mean that you signed the contract and the client told you that he will pay at the end of the month and they didn't pay? It never happened with me. I mean, usually people always pay when they have the contract, but if it happens, if it ever actually no, I had one client who, it was a restaurant, it was quite a well-known restaurant in Singapore. I think they still exist, and they didn't pay us. They paid us for the first month, they paid us for the second month, and then the third month they didn't want to pay, and I personally went to his cafe and I was speaking to his boss. I was like, I was saying like, can I see the boss? And then they're like, no, the boss is busy right now. I said, I need to see him because he is not paying for my services. And I literally like was waiting for him downstairs at the cafe, and he made payment immediately. And after that I stopped working with this client because I felt absolutely upset about this. And I think this can happen. I mean, you cannot fully protect yourself, but it happens very rarely. Like it only happened once in my over 4 years almost 5 years in business. So I don't think you need to be so worried about it. Gabriela, hi Tanya, for a beginner VA like us, is it okay if from the beginning we just work with our client per month or per project? Gabriela, you need to talk to the client and ask their preferences. Ima, hi Tanya, have you ever got a client that didn't pay you even after they signed the contract and have done the job? Yes, I just mentioned. Dini, if I choose a service to writing grant proposal, how much should I charge? What do you mean writing grant proposal? Grant proposal. Have no idea. Really, you can start with $10 an hour, $15 an hour, depending on how much time it will take you. Gabriela, hi Tanya, I want to ask, is it okay if we have applied a minimum of 6 months contract to our clients for beginner? Also, is it necessary for us as a VA to apply deposit rules to our clients? No, 6 months, it is not really a standard in a VA industry because every client has different needs and really depends. Maybe they just want to try you out and for 1 month and see how it goes. They most probably they will not be able to go for 6 months from the start. I don't think you need to apply this. Deposit rules to our clients, yes, especially if you are working on a retainer package, usually the client will pay in full or they will pay 50% in advance to book your time in advance. But again, you can ask the client, it is no harm if you just ask the client, are you okay to pay me in advance? And then from there you can negotiate and see what is the best solution for both of you. Roro, is there any case that client wants the money back because of error or mistake? No, never had situations like this. And if you are showing to the client that you are bringing value to the client, you are caring about their business, it is okay to make mistakes. All of us make mistakes. I never had any virtual assistant, even experienced virtual assistants who never made mistakes. It is impossible. Gunka, what is the guarantee tool for client? How about if they make, if they already pay the VA fees, but the VA is not doing the job? That's why some clients are not very comfortable to pay in advance, but some clients are comfortable to pay in advance. That's why you need to discuss with them. So some of them are comfortable to pay 50% in advance. Some of them are comfortable to pay, full in advance. You just need to discuss with them. Shafan, hi Tanya, you mentioned just now, no need to mention end date in the contract. If we decide to change the rate, then we sign a new contract. Yes, you can sign a new contract with a new rate. Anastasia, if on the contract we agree to charge hourly rates, do we get paid monthly in advance like the first month or like a salary at the end of the month? For the hourly, it is usually a retainer, so it is usually 50% or in full in advance. There is no end date in the contract, but still the payment terms can be every month before the start of the month. Gabriela, hi Tanya, do you have an example of proposals that we can use as reference for our clients? Yes, sure, I will share with you guys. I have the SMM proposal example. Hi Tanya, I would like to ask if virtual assistant services for assisting health or wellness coaches or psychologists are highly paid. It is not really like that. It is not like if I work with this niche or that niche. It is all about how well you can do the service and what are your how much value you can bring to the client. It doesn't matter which businesses you're working with. Fabri, have you or students from SGB had a client experience with complaint? Maybe, I think so. Had a client experience with complaint. You mean that client complained? I can't really remember that, to be honest. Maybe SAs can help me, but I can't really remember. I don't think so. Highly demanded. Do you mean that a virtual assistant for coaches are in high demand? Definitely, yes. I am considered a coach as well. My team is full of virtual assistants. Already more than 40 people. Definitely for coaches in high demand. Let's say we have a client who broke the contract. How do we handle that? I've had this with one of my clients. I think I already told you, my dental client, and it was a mutual decision. After 3 months, I think we stopped working together. Always ended on a good note. Always say that I really wish that we can work together again in the future. It was really great working with you, and always end things positively. Elga, hi Tanya, do we give our service first or we get the payment first? Elga, I already responded to this. Depends on your arrangement with the client. Tara, hi Tanya, what if the client doesn't feel satisfied with our work but already signed the contract and in the end they don't want to pay? Tara, you need to no, it cannot happen that they don't want to pay, they must pay. That's the aim of the contract. But of course, we want to establish long-term relationships with our clients. We want to work with them long-term, and that is why it is really important to set the expectations from the start. We are going to talk about it during the discovery call lesson, how to build the long-term relationships. You need to always be proactive. You need to always ask feedback from your client. You need to always, ask what is their expectation from you, and you need to always be ready to listen to their feedback and improve. And as long as you do that, you can establish long-term relationships with your clients. Zulfikar, Tanya, how about when the client wants a test task, how long it will be, and others, the client also pay us for the test job? Good question, Zulfikar. Sometimes we give a test task to our VAs. It should not be longer than 1 or 2 hours. It is usually not paid, and it is a common practice. It is totally fine, but please don't agree to work for 1 day, 2 days, 1 week for free. The test task is okay, but it is usually maximum a few hours, or even 1 hour. Rachel, how to mention in a good way to clients if you want to terminate the contract? Just you can already ask ChatGPT about it. But usually just like pleasant words, like saying that dear Tanya, it was really nice talking, working with you for this few last months. I really enjoyed the communication between us and the work experience, but sadly, I would like to inform you that I would like to terminate this contract due to various reasons, and maybe right now I would like to put on hold our partnership. But I really hope that we can work together in the future, and we stay in touch. Thank you very much for everything that you have done to me and all the opportunities that you have opened up for me. So something like this. Always on the positive note. Shariani, Tanya, if there is no client contacting me, should I contact them first? Of course, you must be proactive always. Don't wait for clients to fall from the sky. You need to always be proactive, and that's what the next lessons will be about. Devi, hi Tanya, for a newly started VA, how many clients do you think it's best to handle? What are the things we should consider besides the time allocation? I think it is first of all, time allocation. You need to understand your situation right now and how many hours per day you are keen to invest in this. So I think this is the main factor. And this will help you to determine how many clients you can handle at one time. Contacting clients is next lessons, guys. The topic of this lesson is pricing and packages and portfolio. Yes, I just sent me to my friend. He has online shop. He would like to know more about these services. Amazing. Rad, good luck. Thank you so much, guys, for your time today. I hope this lesson was insightful for you. Thank you. Jacinta, hi Tanya, from the choosing your niche lesson, you mentioned that our niche will eventually lead to the ability to charge a higher rate. Can you explain how and when this will happen? Having a niche will narrow down your you as a VA. So meaning that you will be very specific in what clients you're working with. So in a way, the clients will trust you more. The clients will know that you're working with a specific niche. So, but I would emphasize that you need to focus on delivering your services first. I don't think that right now it is a good time to choose your niche. You need to choose your niche when you are already clear on what type of businesses you want to work with. And when you work with specific businesses, for example, for me, medical clinics, I already know their preferences. I already know how they work after a few months of working with them. And that's how I can further, increase my rates. I can further increase the trust with within my clients, because they know that Tanya is working with medical clinics. But right now, you definitely can focus on your services first, because the number one is the value that you bring to clients. How well you know your service, how much value you can bring to clients. So work with different clients first from different industries and see who you are most happy with and who you enjoy working with the most. And that's when you can choose your niche. Rachel, is there any penalty if VA can't deliver their services for some period due to force majeure or sick? Guys, you are starting to overthink already. I don't never include this in the contract. We are all people, we are all humans, and anything can happen. And of course, if you establish good communication with the client, you can just inform them and they can understand. So they can give you maybe a few days off. It is normal. Billy, which kind of services that most clients outside of Indonesia would hire that even beginners are acceptable because they really need? Billy, we discussed the services on the first week. You can rewatch the lessons. These are all high demand services. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Emilia. Yes, sure. You can feel free to rewatch this if you need. Thank you so much. Really happy to see you all, guys. If you still have any questions, feel free to ask me or ask us student advisors. Thank you very much. I love being in this community fabric. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you. Spasiba. Selamat malam. Selamat tidur. Bye-bye, guys.